Mostar in Bosnia-Herzegovina. The city's famous old bridge, which dated back to the 16th century, was rebuilt following the war of the 1990s. For centuries it served as a symbol of how Serbs, Croats and Muslims could live peacefully together, just like the sport of diving off the bridge into the Neretva River 19 metres below. Semir Kazazic isn't scared off by the ice-cold water. TV cameras are on hand. The bridge divers meet in their clubhouse on top of the bridge. They reminisce about how in the past everyone used to dive together, Serbs, Croats and Muslims. There I am in the middle, says Mirsad Pasic, a Bosnian Muslim.
For me, the old bridge didn't die even after it was destroyed in 1993. It always has a place in my heart.
Yes, it was really destroyed, but it lived on in our feelings, adds Alexandra, the only Serbian woman in a group otherwise composed of Bosnian Muslim men. It all sounds very poetic. But the reality is much harsher. For weeks, politicians representing Bosnia's various ethnic groups have been engaging in a war of words.
What's just happened reminds me of the discussions which occurred in 1992 at the start of the Bosnian War, when they began talking about dividing up the country.
In February, the bridge divers decided they'd heard enough and organised a demonstration on their bridge. Nias Moric shows us a film about it on the internet.
All the time, politicians are talking about how to divide up the country amongst themselves. Nobody's talking about the economy. I'm 35 years old and haven't been able to work a day in my life.
Divers want Jedan Mostar, or one Mostar for everyone. Meanwhile, not far from the bridge, the three political leaders of Bosnia's Croats, Muslims and Serbs are meeting to discuss the redrawing of Bosnia's internal borders. This is a prerequisite if Bosnia is to achieve closer ties with the EU. Three men are trying to reform the Dayton Peace Accord signed in 1995, which divided the small country in two. One of them is Serb hardliner Milorad Dodik, the Prime Minister of Republika Srpska, a Serbian political entity within Bosnia and Herzegovina.
One thing is clear. At the moment, Bosnia is much closer to breaking up than to integration, even if the foreigners think otherwise. The Americans and Brits would do better to look after their own affairs.
Trouble is brewing. The Serbian Prime Minister even verbally attacks a regional TV crew from the mainly Croat and Muslim Federation of Bosnia-Herzegovina.
I wish your heart would stop beating. You only spread lies.
Milorad Dodic's Bosnian Serb entity begins 6 hours' drive north of here. The sign says, "Welcome to Republika Srpska." In the town of Pernjava, the Serbian flags in front of the city hall make it clear who has the say here. The city is run by Darko Tomac, a member of Dodic's party. At 28, he's Bosnia's youngest mayor. Tensions are running high in this Serb-dominated town. For weeks, a local newspaper has been claiming the Muslim minority here is arming itself and becoming radicalized.
Once this article got out, I immediately sought a dialogue with the individual Muslims named in the article. After that, I publicly stated that this information was probably untrue and that I stand with our Muslim fellow citizens. I believe we all have to live and work together for the future.
The neighborhood of Liznya is home to the Bosnian Muslims who are supposedly turning radical. Visible traces of war still exist here, in this town where brutally mistreated Muslims have returned to their homes after being expelled by Serbs 17 years ago. The houses have been rebuilt with funds from Europe and the USA. Hossein Vučković from the conservative Muslim party, the SDA, is the spokesman for Muslim residents.
These accusations have caused many Muslims to panic. These allegations in the Serbian press are a type of terrorism directed against us.
Is this sowing the seeds of nationalism? Rebuilt as a symbol of reconciliation and ethnic harmony, today Mostar's bridge is little more than a tourist attraction. The cold water is good for your circulation, says diver Semir Kazazic. 13 years after the war, there's still a short supply of warm feelings among the Serbs, Croats and Muslims of Bosnia-Herzegovina.